everyone, Pushing Up Roses here, and today I just have a little vlog for you guys, just a little something different. I don't typically enjoy being on camera very often for multiple reasons, but I've really wanted to do this vlog because I do get asked many questions about my tattoos, so I've got some tattoo stories for you guys, and perhaps it will answer some of the questions that I get over and over again online. So let's start with my very first tattoo. So just some background on me. I lost my dad at a young age. I was 14 when my dad passed away from cancer. I had dropped out of high school. I had been diagnosed with BDD and bulimia. You guys know all about that, and if you guys don't know about that, I will have links below, right below here, to my Draw My Life and articles I've written, and you can read that on your own time if you wish. If you don't, that's fine. But the point is, I was having a very hard time in my teens. And so I took to being online. I took to joining communities. At the time, I really wanted to be an artist. I even went to school for illustration for a while. I ended up majoring in fiction writing. But for a very long time, I wanted to be an artist. I started painting and drawing after my dad passed away, very particularly gruesome paintings and strange type of paintings. My family even put me into therapy to talk about the stuff that I was drawing because it was apparently so disturbing. I don't even know if I have. I do have the drawings. I don't know if I really want to show them in this vlog, but they were fairly disturbing, I suppose. So that being said, I took to going to online communities. I don't know if you guys remember Elfwood, but I was a part of Elfwood for a while, posting my artwork there. And of course, DeviantArt. I still have my DeviantArt page, and I update it every so often. Not as much as I do now, because I don't paint or draw as much as I used to, but I wanted to be an artist. And so I would join these communities. And within these art communities, I would follow and stalk, almost like online. Well, not stalk. It's a little exaggerated, but I was very much interested in these specific artists. One of them was Liza Loeb Erickson, and the other is Joanna Oost. And they did these beautiful, beautiful paintings of like fairies and ethereal creatures and gothy type characters, and they always had piercings and tattoos, and I saw that and I held on to it, and I'm like, that's what I want to look like. That's me. That's what I want. Now, I did have to wait until I was at least 18 to get tattoos, or to go even into a tattoo parlor in Illinois. In Illinois, the law for a very long time was that you had to wait until you were 21. 21 was the legal age to get tattoos in Illinois. And at the time, I was annoyed by that. I really thought it should be 18 like many other states. But looking back, if I had just waited until I was 21, maybe I would have made better tattoo decisions. I don't know. Now that I'm looking back at it, 18 is so young, and how could I have made such permanent decisions? But anyway, that's what we're getting in here. That's why we're here, folks, is to talk about regrets. So yeah, I really wanted a tattoo, and more than anything, the reasons why I wanted a tattoo was to come across more powerfully. I think that one of the only reasons I really wanted to do it is because I wanted to be badass. I thought they were sexy, yes, but more than anything, I really wanted to be badass. I wanted to look like a rock star. I still fantasize about being a rock star. That is my main fantasy, for those wondering. Clearly that didn't happen because I'm a YouTuber talking about video games. The desire for the tattoo was kind of a little misguided. Not that you shouldn't get tattoos. If it makes you feel badass and powerful, that's great, but I was young, I was a teenager, and again, I couldn't get tattoos in Illinois. So I had the brilliant idea of going to Gary, Indiana for my first tattoo. At the time, I didn't look up a lot of things online. It just wasn't like how it is today. Everyone's portfolio is online, and you can do great research that way, which is why I have such good ink now. But at the time, I didn't do any research. I was just like looking in the phone book, looking in the directory, and boom, we're gonna go there. And not only did I go to Gary, Indiana, but I decided my first tattoo should be Japanese kanji. Not that there's anything wrong with Japanese kanji, but looking at the person I am today, why did I even do that? Why? Because I thought it looked cool? That really was the reasoning. I just thought kanji looked really cool. I'd lost my dad, so I got the kanji over here. Getting already confused. I realize I'm wearing the exact wrong outfit for showing my tattoos, but I will provide pictures, because then the static pictures you can kind of look at and I don't have to maneuver all awkwardly like this. It's a good dance. I don't even remember what this place was called. It was kind of a shady place. It was somebody's house, it looked like, and it was being run by this kind of crass dude. He looked like he had been drinking all day, and his assistant was a woman with a kid, a couple kids actually, and like a little playpen area to the side, and there were dogs, and there was like McDonald's like wrappers everywhere, and it was not good. This was not good, but I was 18, I was ready to be badass, and so I got the kanji on my arm. The woman is the one who did my tattoo, like the assistant or whoever, and she had to keep like checking on her kids in the meantime and letting the dogs out, and I'm like, oh my god. Miraculously, the tattoo did not turn out too bad. It didn't get infected, I didn't get sick, thank God for that. Nothing really bad happened, but at the same time, what the fuck was I thinking? Like, why would I just get kanji? The kanji stood, I know one of the kanjis absolutely stood for father. And I think the other one stood for strength, and fuck if I know what the other one stood for. And, you know, that's it was just not a good choice. I had gotten it done too small, and there's a risk when you get tattoos done too small. They can kind of get really mushy over time. They fade over time. Your skin goes through a lot during your lifetime. It gets weathered, per se. So when you get a tattoo that's way too small, even if it was like executed very well, there's always the chance that it's gonna mush up and blend together, and that's exactly what it did. Another thing that happened with that tattoo is that I had lost weight over time, so my arm, and I'll provide the pictures, you'll see my arm shrinking it bigger, and then that affected the tattoo, and then because I had bulimia, I was yo-yoing all the time, gaining mass amounts of weight and then dropping mass amounts of weight. So I had a lot of stretching on this arm. And even when I lost weight, the tattoo was so small, it just looked like it was floating, just like floating in a sea of skin. It just didn't look right, and I know it didn't look right. I realized that I could have gotten something so much bigger. Like, why waste such a huge piece of canvas with this tiny little tattoo that looks like it's floating in an ocean of skin, like a lonely little buoy just out there in the ocean. You can see it from far away. It was just not good. It was not good. I have overcompensated for this tattoo mistake by getting a huge tattoo over it. I got that later, and I had had this tattoo for many years. It doesn't feel like that now. It feels like all the tattoos I've had for a long time. But that tattoo in particular, I had for a very long time. I only got it covered in 2012. That was only 4 years ago with the big piece here on my arm. And I love this big piece. This piece was done by the same person who did my chest piece here. And I'll show you better pictures. Oh, it looks pretty good. And then, because I didn't learn a thing until I was much older, I decided I'm gonna get another tattoo and just go to a parlor and just pick one out and get one. Again, I was trying to kind of reaffirm my badassery because I was just so edgy. Although this particular next tattoo I'm going to talk about, I don't think I've even ever shown the internet. So this is a first. This is a first for you guys. I'm actually going to show this tattoo to you. I had gotten it because a couple of my friends had gotten together and we were just going to go get tattoos together. And that was the best part of that experience. I had a really solid group of friends at the time. And we all just decided to go again to Indiana. It was either Indiana or like south enough in Illinois where nobody cared about the 21-year-old law. No idea what I was thinking here. I just kind of looked at the wall, a flash, and I was like, that one. And it was a butterfly. And it's holding a yin-yang. Who even am I? Like, why? I don't know why I got that. I am not a butterfly person. I just wanted to have something. I chose my calf, and I don't really show my calves very often. I'm always wearing these big honkin' combat boots anyway, so nobody can even see it. And it's not a bad tattoo. The best thing I can say about this tattoo is that it's really dark. That's also the worst thing I can say about this tattoo, because it would be very hard to cover if I in fact wanted to cover it. I don't think I'm gonna cover it though. I think it's a timepiece, it's a part of me. Okay, so it's a shitty little butterfly holding a yin-yang for no reason really whatsoever. I just thought it looked cool. Oh my lord. When you go into a parlor on a whim and you just see like boards and boards of flash tattoo, it's very convenient and very easy to just pick one out and get it right then. When I get a tattoo today, there's usually like months of waiting, because the artists I go to now, they're totally booked, and we have to plan it and design it, and there's a lot more that goes into it. But when you see flash tattoos on the wall, and again, there's nothing really wrong with flash tattoos, but I will say this: I don't know a single person, personally, maybe you do, but I don't personally, who is a tattoo enthusiast who has gotten a flash tattoo on a whim and has just loved the crap out of it. That's very uncommon. I think that to just make that choice immediately, it's very uncommon to just be happy with it. Like all good things in life, like all quality things, tattoos take time and planning and commitment. So again, nothing necessarily wrong with this tattoo, but what the heck? Why is there a yin-yang? Why is there a yin-yang, and why is he holding it with his tentacle things, and what are those? They could be dongs for all I know. I don't really know. And because I didn't learn a third time is the charm, but I didn't learn yet again, I went back with my friends to get another flash tattoo that I just like looked at the boards and was like, there we go, there it is. And I have shared this picture before. It is on my back here. And it is just a rose, just a really simple rose. And I do have a transformation photo, but I want you guys to know something about the transformation photo. The rose that you see, the before picture, that does have, me and my boyfriend like drew over. Does anybody else do that? Do you guys trace over your tattoos sometimes? Because I do. So it does look a little blobbier, but it looked bad anyway, and you guys can tell that. The white lines in the rose is supposed to be where the petals are disconnected. I wanted to put that in there to show that that's where they should have been. But in reality, the top of the rose, the red part, all like blobbed together. And again, this was at a shop that I don't remember the name of. I had gotten the assistant or the intern tattoo artist, which is a problem on its own. And I also kind of regret getting it on my shoulder because I never see it. As I've grown up, I like having tattoos that I can see and that other people can readily see. And so I never even really saw the tattoo. And my friends were like overly nice about it. They were like, oh yeah, that looks good. It doesn't look bad. But no, it did. The only person who was ever really honest with me about that tattoo was my boyfriend, who was like, oh my god, that's really bad. And so I had gotten it fixed up by the same artist who did all my kind of, I guess you would call it new school tattoos. He took a look at it and he fixed it up and it looks amazing. I love it now. Even though I can't see it, I am glad that it's nice and fixed up. It's such a transformation and I'm so happy about it. And then of course we have the bigger pieces, and this is after I learned to use the internet to my advantage. As I got older, I would look up people on the internet. And I found my artist out here in Illinois. I had gotten these first. This flower was not there. The birds were here first, and they're, I'll put a picture up, but they are robotic birds. And I got them simply because, and people ask me what they mean all the time. I'm not really sure they mean anything. I really love chest tattoos. I love chest plates. I think this chest, I think this chest is a great place to get tattoos. It is a kind of a flat canvas by the collarbones, and if you're really, really pale, then you can put like colors, and I just think it's a great place, so regardless of skin tone, I think it's a great place to get a tattoo, something really large. And so, since getting those smaller tattoos, again, I've overcompensated by getting these huge pieces. And so I don't have that many tattoos. I have about 8. And it seems like I have more because they're gigantic pieces. This one covers here. The Victrola over here is pretty big. And this covers my whole chest. And then I have 2, you guys can't see this, I don't know what I'm doing, but I have 2 on my forearms as well. And those are pretty big pieces. I was kind of inspired by the psychobilly aesthetic on the birds, the traditional sparrows that kind of go towards your shoulders, and robots. I really like robots, and I like computers, and I didn't want to just get a bulky computer. That was weird. I wanted something a little bit more organically shaped, something with feathers. I have a lot of bird tattoos because I clearly like birds. When you grow up goth, and again, I'll put pictures because growing up, I looked like a busted Robert Smith. It was not good. It was not a good aesthetic for me. But when you kind of come out of that, a lot of like goth or punk people go into the psychobilly look as they get a little older. It's just kind of how it happens. And I really love that look, but I really didn't want just sparrows. I wanted them to be robotic. He drew them up, and I love how they look. They look kind of like grenades. I wanted something more natural to go with the robotic birds. It's kind of that mix of robotic and not robotic, natural, nature versus robots, and I love it. It does not have a profound meaning, not necessarily. Even like the bigger pieces over here, it just ties into my love of robotics, and I love flowers, I love robots, I love wiring and stuff like that, and cogs and gears. I like bright colors on lighter skin, so I thought it just looked really awesome. And mostly for some of these some of them, not all of them, some of them do have more profound meaning, but definitely for this one, it was really an aesthetic, and definitely the flower was to bring together that aesthetic. I really loved it. And I have a Victrola on this arm, which I plan to add to. Interestingly enough, I don't have that many tattoos because I spend so much time covering and evolving and adding to other tattoos that I don't get new tattoos. Like the next tattoo I get is gonna be another evolving tattoo. I've got the Victrola over here, and that was kind of like another nod to my dad. Me and my dad shared a love for music, and I mean a love for music. Music is probably the most important thing in my life, more important than video games and tattoos and everything. And my channel is not for music. I sometimes wish it were. I have a much wider knowledge of music than even video games, but here we are. What can you do? I'm happy with what I'm doing, so what can you say? But the Victrola is definitely a nod to my dad, the love of music. And then there are birds. There's kind of like this goo, and they turn into birds, and they're flying up my arm. And I don't know, I like the idea of music setting you free, if you will. I don't know if that's cheesy or not, but that's kind of what it means to me. It's just the music will set you free. And how many birds do I fucking have? I have a lot of bird tattoos. The most recent thing I got was the raven on top of a skull. And yes, I realize that is a cliche design. It is okay to get cliche designs. Roses and skulls and birds are popular for a reason. It's because they're fucking awesome. So yeah, that is my tattoo vlog. I hope you guys enjoyed the pictures and the embarrassing pictures and some of my stories. If you guys have questions, leave them in the comments below. I will try to answer some of them. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel. If you are in fact new here and you just came here because you saw there was a tattoo vlog and you just wanted to hear somebody ramble about embarrassing stories, my channel is dedicated to mostly gaming, retro PC gaming, DOS gaming, sometimes new games, adventure games, side scrollers. If that is something you are interested in, please feel free to stick around, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye bye.